Ladies and gentlemen, men have given up on dating and women find themselves with less options, at least from the respectable men. So we're gonna discuss that today. And for already story, a single mother cannot find a man. Stick around for that, gentlemen, but now let's get started.
When I say that modern dating is just infuriating, I feel like the only way for people to get just how it is out here is for us to be sharing our stories.
No, you know how you will know how much of a crap dating is? If the genders were reversed and you could be a man for a while, and see how frustrating it is to be dismissed by most women just because you're not the top 20%, to have to play the game by their rules, to have to play according to their little games and little schemes and manipulation tactics. Then you will know what it is, and to compete against other men all the time. But you are playing this game on rookie difficulty and yet still you are complaining.
This man has been hitting on me for 3 years, if not longer, just swiping up on my story, various things, right? And I am the type of person that unless you say something with your chest, I am not going to pay attention to you. Like, sure, yeah, thank you for the compliment, but otherwise, like, what are you doing here? It's Christmas time. I guess this man is feeling jolly. And Christmas Eve, he swipes up on my story. I tell him thank you. And he goes, yeah, I asked Santa for your number. I'm hoping he's going to leave it at midnight. I'm going to check in the morning and I'm going to leave out milk and cookies. And I was like, oh. 3 years in and he finally takes the plunge. Oh my God. So he sends me a Snapchat of the inside of his stocking and he's like, oh, damn, like Santa didn't leave it. I guess I'll just have to keep asking him for it. And I was just like, Santa is so sneaky. It's been with me this entire time. I gave him my number. This is the part that up. He responds, he's like, awesome, I'll text you sometime this next week and maybe we can go get drinks or some shit. Just a moment of silence. Okay. What makes you look at me and think that I want to get drinks or some? Do I look like a drinks or some kind of girl? Like, just be for real. And I'm sure he was just trying to keep it like very casual, but ladies are tired of casual. Like, come with intentions or back off. Like, I just
Yeah guys, don't be dusties like this man over here. This is the simp win, by the way. When you simp for 3 years, eventually, when a woman doesn't have any other better plans, she might pay you interest, she might give you her number, alright? Not worth it though. Simps, what an L for society. Their very existence is making things harder for men. But this woman, guys, yes, you have to take her to the fancy restaurants. You have to pay at least $200 a date, right? At least. This is the bare minimum, guys. It's either that or you get out of dating altogether. Because these women are not worth it. The juice is not worth the squeeze. $200, get out of here, man.
a few days goes by, he texts me, and at this point, like, I don't know. The lack of intention already, I'm like, damn, you waited 3 years and it up.
Let me just ask you one question. Do you think that this woman is a virgin? Because according to her, she's not dating men who don't show any interest. She's going in for the long run, gentlemen. She's in the ride or die type of person. And apparently she doesn't pay attention to guys who don't speak things out from their chest. Alright, is she a virgin though? Because according to her narrative, she should be, right? She doesn't want to entertain the men who are not all in. Alright. Are you a virgin though? Or are you dismissing the simps, dismissing the nice guys, dismissing the men who are not willing to pay, yet you are giving the milk for free to the chads, yet you are spreading your legs for the attractive men to the bad boys who don't want no commitment at all, they just happen to have a good jawline. I'll let you guess, gentlemen.
This is honestly where I find my moments of peace and clarity out here by the dumpster.
You know what they say, birds of a feather flock together.
I just wanted to talk about Hinge for a quick second, okay? Because I feel like the fact that their slogan is designed to be deleted is probably the most accurate thing that they've ever come up with, and not for the reasons you're thinking. My who liked you on Hinge makes me feel so degraded and disgusted that I have no other choice but to delete the app. Not to mention, the people that are on Hinge truly are some of the worst people I've ever met in my entire life. And why is every man's love language physical touch, but they're still figuring out their dating goals? Like, instead of banning TikTok, we need to ban the real problem in this generation, which is Hinge. That's the real app that needs to be banned.
You think that at some point, these women will get the idea that dating apps are only for hookups, and that the really small amount of relationships that happen due to dating apps are an exception, not the rule? You will think they'll figure it out, right? I mean, how long have been the dating apps been on the internet? How long is it going to take these women? Stop playing the victim card. You're there because you like the attention. Don't act all innocent like, oh, these men, so disgusting. They only want one thing. That's what you want. You want the attention that these men provide. This woman, I don't care about her body count. She's already a risk because she enjoys so much the attention and validation that strangers provide that she's not dating material.
I'm not going on any more dates anytime soon. No. No. I'm sure you guys have seen all those articles going around about lawsuits against dating apps and how dating apps are essentially just totally ineffective. People are on there and just stay on there, and the actual success rates are so low, but then the ones that you hear about is like all you hear. So many of my friends have met their significant others on the dating apps, and I'm like, why is that not working for me? Now, I don't think all of them are necessarily compatible, I will say that.
So many of her friends, yeah, she's talking about 2, 3 at most. And for those 2, 3 people that have managed to find a relationship through the dating app, she is not talking about the few hundreds who haven't and who have bad experiences all the time, just like her.
But, you know, they're like, oh, it's a numbers game. You got to just keep like blah, blah, blah. I think a lot of people like settle for people that like them back and don't want to think deeper on like, okay, is this my forever person? Just like feels good to be loved. And the thought of getting back out there is like horrible.
Even if we assume that we have forever persons out there and we are meant for one specific partner, first off, if we are meant for one people, why do you women have a body count in the triple digits before you meet that supposed person? Second off, you don't get a notification on your phone when you find that person, alright? There are no heavenly arrows pointing at that person. Even if he existed, you would never know if you are with him or not. So why do you change your dating approach based on that? These women, guys, they talk about forever persons just because they want to keep switching partners, saying that they are not their forever person, that they are not compatible. Meanwhile, the real reason is not that they know who is their forever person, it's just that they want to keep improving their man and upgrading him and leveling him up, because it's impossible to meet these women's criteria.
And meeting people naturally is really, really tough now. But lately, and by lately I mean like the last 2-3 years, I've been feeling like the dating apps is just like, people play it like an actual game. The people on there that are actually looking for a relationship, I mean, I think there's just so few of them. I think in general, women are a lot more intentional than men. I think men are on there. And I heard actually a guy say this though, women are on there for validation to see like who they could get. These are all the people they could get, but that they don't actually want to talk to them.
Exactly. I used to think that women were dating with more intention, and, you know, men over here, just the bad boys want to hook up, while women are so innocent and pure, they just want a relationship. I used to think that when I was like 11, but then I found out that women play the same game as men do. Men just want to hook up, and women just want validation. They're both superficial things that the biggest part of a gender does, right? That follows. So men follow S3X, women follow attention and validation. It's the same thing. They're there for the same reason.
And men are on there kind of like trying to hook up. But if a relationship comes out of it, it's like a plus, but they're not necessarily on there for a relationship. I feel like with women though, like a lot of women are actually on there for a relationship, but it also is an ego boost as well, because your pool, your dating pool just got so much bigger than just like the people that you're meeting at bars and at work and whatnot. And also, I feel like a lot of people aren't working in person anymore. You're not doing as many of those happy hours. You're not like combining friend groups as much. You're just not meeting people naturally.
Yeah. Well, if you stick your face on your phone the whole day, no wonder. But apparently, guys, the dozens of people that are interested in women outside of the internet, we're talking neighbors, colleagues, friends, whatever, they're not enough. All right, a dating pool in the dozens, options in the dozens are not enough. We need them in the hundreds. And even in the hundreds, when you consider internet and dating apps and social media and all that, it's still not enough. All right, because these women have hundreds of options if we account the internet, and they are still single. So what does that tell you?
As much. So you kind of have to use the dating apps. But then the dating apps just feel like a total fucking trap. I'm like, this cannot be it. I'm not like, I'm not gonna stop dating necessarily. I'm gonna be open to it still. But in terms of like the dating apps, I think we're just taking a little step back, just a little, you know what I mean? But it's like mentally just draining to be preparing yourself for the dates, to be talking to people, to, you know, if a date goes well and they don't follow up, you're like, what the fuck? If the date doesn't go well, and like, how do you navigate that conversation? You know, if you're on a date and you're like, why am I here? You're on, like, the mental space this is taking up, it's too much, and I'm not seeing anything from it. So we're just gonna put a pin in this, maybe revisit in the summer when everything is happy and good again. But right now, it is just not it. If something happens, great, but I feel like seeking out dating on the dating apps is like the recipe for disappointment.
So don't go back to it, right? But no, of course she's gonna go back to it. She's making this TikTok to ease her consciousness that she's not a 304. And then for the summer, for the hot girl summer, she'll be back at it, dating the same bad boys that she has done previously. You know, think about the past, John. Think about your grandmother. How was she able to find your grandfather without dating apps? Wow, it's such a mystery, eh? I'm starting to think that women finding and settling for a man doesn't have to do with the amount of options they have. It has to do with the mentality, their purpose, their ideal, what do they want to achieve in life. And these women, guys, know nothing about that. They don't know where they're headed. They don't know what they want. They don't know what kind of men they want to secure. They know nothing, guys. They know nothing. And then they wonder why they fail. Can you imagine in your professional life, you don't put 2 minutes of thought into it? Is it going to work or is it going to fail? Imagine your family. If you don't put 2 minutes into your family, do you think you'll have a good connection with your family or not? Just apply this to any other aspect in life. If you don't know what the hell you're doing with your life and you don't put 2 minutes of thought into it, guess what's going to happen? Yet these women, even though they understand that, they think that they can go on dating, they can have no plan at all. They just, you know, fly like some particles in the air, and they think that that strategy is going to find them the 10 out of 10 man, the Prince Charming. It doesn't work like that. Women have a different game than men. They have their own difficulties, but it's not that hard. It's not as hard as men, to be honest with you guys. Most of women's, let's call it game, is just picking the right person because they already have the options. And these women are just making clowns of themselves, failing at the easiest task possible. But now, gentlemen, let's read the Reddit article. It's written by QTPie 2023, and the title is Dating as a Single Mom. I miss being in a relationship with someone, but all the men lately, or at least the ones I get, aren't interested. after telling them I have 2 kids. What a shocker. They pursue for looks, then ghost after knowing about kids. It's like a death sentence. Never any follow-up in getting to know me. Sucks. Is this how it is for all single parents? Men, are you interested or can you see yourself with a single mom? I'm starting to give up on finding anyone. I wanted to include me and my ex-husband have a good, cordial relationship. I'm with my kids 24/7 due to his work schedule, but when he is off, he does spend time with them. Also, I do have help when needed from family and do have a nanny. I'm also 35, for those asking. The men who are ghosting are those I've met in person while out and then asked for my number, or men... Holy crap, there's not one comma in this whole paragraph, alright? Learn about punctuation, please. I'm gonna have a heart attack trying to read this. The men who are ghosting are those I've met in person while out and then asked for my number, or men who have DM'd me through social media. Social media is just another dating app, alright, for some women. Then, while talking, I let them know, hey, I do have 2 kids, and then poof, gone. I'm not on any dating apps. Great for that. Also, I have talked to both men with kids and without. So this woman, guys, at 35, so she still has her looks, most probably. She's still good looking. But 2 kids and a divorce in hand, not a green flag, eh? Not a lot of men willing to play from another man's save file. Now let's read some of the comments. First comment, gotta find a single dad. Second one, as a single guy without kids, I personally wouldn't date a single mom. Maybe try single dad. So it's the same argument, right? As they're probably in a similar position with dating troubles. Third one, hi. Plenty of us single dads out here will date a single mom in a heartbeat. Don't give up. Isn't it interesting, guys, how a woman posed this, right? Oh, I'm so alone, I'm so single, nobody wants to talk to me, blah, blah, blah. And then literally every comment is, have you tried single dads? Go for the single dads. I'm a single dad, I will go for you, right? In a heartbeat, he even mentions. You have to know that when women say that they have no options, they do have options, right? When they whine, I'm so single, so lost, yada yada, no, they're not. I fall victim to this as well, because we'll be covering a TikTok and I'm thinking, wow, this woman really not attractive, overweight, an attitude I cannot stand for more than 30 seconds. And I think to myself, this woman probably doesn't have a lot of options, right? Because, come on. And then she goes on to say mid-TikTok how she has like 10 guys hitting her up on her DMs. Alright, don't do this mistake. All women have options, all of them. It's just that they're not good enough for them. You know what I mean? All these women we've covered today who are complaining about men walking out of dating and all that. Yes, men are walking out of dating. Still, women have options. Yes, maybe simps, maybe guys who are naive and stupid and don't know any better, but they still have options. It's just they're never willing to settle. It's women not willing to settle what excludes them from dating altogether. Because the men who have self-respect and are good men and are willing to find a relationship, they take a look at these women that have unreal expectations and they think, what a clown, I'm out of here. Alright? But then the sims that actually stay, or the nice guys who are extremely naive and don't, you know, they turn a blind eye to the red flags, these women still dismiss them altogether because of their high standards, right? It's just that they put a price on themselves that nobody can afford, and they put themselves out of the dating market. These women are single because of their own doing. And women who know how to date and know what men to pick, they, in most of the cases, don't end up single. But gentlemen, what do you think? Leave me your thoughts down in the comments below, and I'll be happy to see you next time. Have a good one.